I might have to look, but yeah, you look good. So, ready? Hello, everyone. How's everybody doing today? Good afternoon. I want to first thank Commissioner Richard Worley for joining me here today. I'd also like to acknowledge Deputy State's Attorney Tom Donnelly, Acting Felony Division Chief Burke Miller, and Felony Team Captain ASA Paul Crowley. And today I'm here to announce that my office has filed charges of a criminal information against defendant Yolanda Wilkes for allegedly concealing an assault committed by her daughter and two other juvenile co-defendants. An individual charged by criminal information is presumed innocent unless and until proven guilty at trial. Assistant State's Attorney Paul Crowley and Kirsten Riddle will prosecute this case. The defendant has been charged with the following charges: accessory after the fact, which carries a maximum of 5 years, destroying, altering, concealing, and removing evidence, which carries a maximum of 3 years, and contributing to the delinquency of a minor, which carries a maximum penalty of 3 years. All this is in prison. Attempting to cover up a crime, especially when it involves the actions of a juvenile, only compounds the harm done and undermines the integrity of our justice system. When the people entrusted with guiding the next generation allegedly destroy evidence and attempt to evade accountability, it hinders law enforcement with their ability to deliver justice and ensure public safety. No one is above the law, and anyone who attempts to interfere with the course of justice will be held responsible for their actions. Furthermore, if the parents of our young people cannot conduct themselves lawfully, how on earth can we expect our children and our teens to be able to conduct themselves and follow the rules? So to be clear, when there is an opportunity for my office to hold a parent accountable for the actions that undoubtedly support the child's alleged criminal behavior, we will. So that brings me to today's announcement. Following an investigation by police, 3 juveniles were charged with the alleged aggravated assault which occurred on February 15, 2026 in 800 block of West Lombard Street, which resulted in the officer discharging his weapon after being struck by a vehicle which the juveniles were allegedly driving. Baltimore Police Department subsequently released the body camera footage from that incident. During the course of this investigation, the mother of one of the arrested juveniles, defendant Yolanda Wilkes, was interviewed by the police. Ms. Wilkes stated that she was awakened a little after midnight on February 15, 2026 by her daughter's friend who brought her home. Her daughter was bleeding from the hand and told her mother she messed up. She thought she caught a body. Her daughter stated she hit a police officer and that her friend was driving and made her drive. Her daughter stated that she was making a U-turn and that she hit parked cars. She also stated the police shot at her. It's alleged that Ms. Wilkes then mentioned to her daughter was wearing a yellow and black jacket during the incident, which Ms. Wilkes stated she threw away because she could not get the blood stains off of it. Ms. Wilkes also stated that while she was doing laundry, she recovered a fired projectile from that coat. She said she gave the projectile to her daughter's father, who was supposed to turn it over to the police. Ms. Wilkes gave the police photos that she captured of her daughter's injured arm, as well as photos of the projectile in the jacket. The defendants then made several attempts to Detectives made several attempts to contact the juvenile's father to recover the fired projectile. When contacted by police, the father stated he didn't know what the police were referring to and was uncooperative. Officers went to the father's address, but the location appeared to be a vacant home. Ms. Wilkes stated that she put her daughter's blood-stained coat in a blue dumpster in the church parking lot located at the rear of her home because she could not get the blood out of it and off those clothes. On February 18, 2026, officers responded to the church parking lot and found mail bearing the defendant's name next to the dumpster, along with a broken tablet indicated that someone had removed the jacket from the dumpster and they never recovered the coat. Ms. Wilkes took her daughter to Sinai Hospital for treatment at the hospital. At the hospital, Ms. Wilkes alleged to have told the medical staff that her daughter fell from a scooter. With that, I will now turn this over to Baltimore Police Commissioner Richard Worley.
First, I want to thank State's Attorney Bates and the members of the Baltimore Police Department, his team, for the partnership and commitment to holding individuals accountable. This case is deeply troubling. A police officer was struck by a vehicle, and following the incident, an adult is alleged to have concealed evidence and misled authorities. When someone attempts to destroy evidence or misrepresents what happened, especially when it involves an assault on a police officer, it undermines the justice system and makes it harder to ensure accountability for victims. Unfortunately, this case highlights a broader issue we continue to see in Baltimore City involving criminal behavior committed by juveniles. So far this year, Baltimore police have increased our juvenile arrests, which isn't the right way that we want things to go. We are seeing concerning trends involving young people in serious crimes, including shootings, carjackings, robberies, and illegal handgun possession. These are not minor offenses. These are dangerous crimes that put lives at risk and destabilize families and communities. When young people become involved in this type of criminal activity, it cannot be ignored or excused. It requires accountability not only for the individuals involved, but also for the adults and the system responsible for guiding them. This includes ensuring that services are available to meet the needs of our young people and help change their behavior. Parents and guardians play probably the most critical role in shaping the decisions young people make. When a child's involved in criminal behavior, the expectation is that the adults in their lives will step in to address that behavior, not conceal it, not excuse it, and certainly not cover it up. Helping a young person evade responsibility does not protect them. It places them on a path that can lead to more serious consequences in the future. Reinforcing criminal behavior is unacceptable. Ensuring young people understand the consequences of their actions is vital. Preventing young people from going down this path requires engaged parents, supportive families, communities that refuse to tolerate or enable criminal activity, and proper systems accountability. Also in this case, 2 of the juveniles who were in the car when they hit the officer were on electronic monitoring at the time that this incident occurred. This raised its ongoing concerns about individuals being released on the monitoring system and continuing to put the public at risk when they violate the terms of their release. Public safety is a shared responsibility and must be done to keep the community safe. The Baltimore Police Department will continue to do its part, along with our criminal justice partners, to hold people accountable, and our partners in the criminal justice system to create safer neighborhoods. But we can't do it alone as a system. Together, we must ensure that our young people are guided towards opportunities and not towards the criminal justice system. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Worley, for your continued partnership with our office and the amazing work that your men and women, the officers, do on a daily basis to protect our community. We also want to make sure we continue to pray for the officer in this incident and thank him for the work that he did in being out there to protect all of us that night. And with that, we'll take a few questions.
Can you clarify how you knew Ms. Wilkes went back to the dumpster to grab the jacket after she threw it out?
It wasn't Ms. Wilkes who did it.
Yolanda Wilkes.
When the police searched the dumpster, there was a torn open bag indicating that it had been removed.
When the police went to the dumpster during part of their investigation, there was a torn open bag that indicated that it had been removed. So, you know, it was there. She said it was there. Now it's gone.
Got it.
The address of the father, you mentioned that it was a vacant home. Is the thought that he was homeless or lived in this vacant home, or was that not truthful? Are you guys thinking there?
Let me just say this. I think that a grown adult knows their address. And if they don't give you their address, there's a reason behind it. And so more than likely, think that it appears that he does not want to participate in this investigation.
Can you help me understand the basis for the charges? Is it the allegations that she destroyed evidence, or misled police about certain facts, or is it both?
It's both. It's both. So accessory after the fact means after the crime that happened, that they did something to try to hide the crime, mislead the crime, or help the person try to get away with the crime. Accessory after the fact. And then you have contributing delinquency of the minor, not holding your child accountable, not telling the police what happened, going to the hospital and saying, oh, this was only a scooter incident or accident instead of actually a shooting, getting rid of the projectile, hiding and trying to wash the jacket with your child. And also, when your child tells you they think that they've caught a body, you probably want to call the police to say what on earth is going on here. Because I don't know about you, but I think most parents, if your child told you they thought they caught a body, would think that there's a major issue here.
And this is just just making sure that I'm seeing this correct in court records. She was issued a summons to appear in court. Is that?
Yeah, these are misdemeanors. I mean, look, this is the law. I will say this from a prosecutorial standpoint. I think this is the area of the law the General Assembly hopefully can look at next year and how we can hold more parents accountable. When I look around at other states, down in Georgia, you had an individual that purchased a gun for their son, and their son went in the school and killed and shot up the school. I think we in Maryland are falling behind other states that are finding ways to hold their parents accountable. We're so focused and so worried on the children. I get it, but what about the parents? The parents are the ones that have to teach their children. The parents are the ones who have to guide their children. So the parents believe that this bad behavior is going to protect their children, then now we have situations such as this. There's no doubt if we had more parental accountability in our city, that our children would have the opportunity to move on the right path. But sometimes when they don't have that accountability and they don't have that parental support and guidance, then we see the system, unfortunately, more of our children in the system. No one wants our children in the system. We need to find a way to hold more adults, more parents accountable for the actions of their children. And for that, we're looking at the General Assembly for that leadership and guidance.
Speaking of accountability in the General Assembly right now, there's a bill to roll back some automatic adult charging for juvenile offenders. You speak to, juvenile cases are trending upwards in Baltimore City. When you look at legislation like that and then what you guys are seeing on the ground, can you kind of reiterate how this is an example of why you're against that type of legislation?
Yeah. I can say, do you want to say anything? Okay. I'll say something, then the police commissioner. Well, look, I think all 24 prosecutors, I'm president of Maryland State's Attorneys Association, we've been pretty clear that we understand the want and desire for this legislation. But we're saying the system is broken. We need to make sure we have more time to fix the system so that the young people can have the services. My office put together a 100-page book. And in that book, we looked at the number of young people that their case were sent from the adult system and juvenile system. Advocates on the other side say 85% of the cases. That's not true. We found that our office sent 55% of those cases that were charged as an adult back to the juvenile system. But what we also found out, in the year 2024, our office sent back 118 cases. Of those 118 cases, within a 18-month period, at least 30-some% had already violated. A number of these cases were guns. What I think we're trying to say is, let's make sure the system is prepared, because on the ground, we have to implement the law. But the police are the ones that are constantly going out. They're risking their life. They're making the arrests. They're seeing the same kids over and over again. And that's why, I really wish that we could come to a consensus. We love our children. Our children is our future. But we can't legislate our way when we see the problems still persist.
I totally agree. We've got to make sure that the system is equipped to handle the kids that are in it now. We can't put more kids into this system if it's already broken. We've got to fix it. And starting some cases in the adult system is going to hold these individuals accountable. And the criminals aren't dumb. As soon as they realize that juveniles carrying weapons, they're going to have the juveniles carry more weapons. So it's something that we've got to keep on the path that we're going. I don't like the fact that we're arresting more kids. That's the opposite direction I want to go. And we're law enforcement. We want to enforce the law. But our kids, the last part of what I said is we need to be guiding them towards other things, not towards the criminal justice system, because that's not going to fix our children. The parents and everyone else has got to fix our kids, because already this year I've seen, I think it's 3 young people have been killed, and they've been killed at the hands of probably other young people. and that's not the direction we want to go, and we've got to change that. And I just don't think the new legislation is going to help.
One last question, Commissioner Worley. Are you able to speak at all to the condition of Officer Cole in that video? I don't know if he's on administrative leave, but certainly was traumatic. And we saw the gentleman across the street kind of collapsing as well too.
Yeah, he broke. We believe he's broke. Pretty sure he broke his ankle. I haven't talked to him since I think it was a couple days after that. I texted all of our officers to see how he was doing, and the last time I texted him, he said he was in a lot of pain. As you could tell from the video, I mean, he got his ankle ran over and was trying. Thankfully, he didn't get run over again because I wasn't sure what was going on. The second individual, that was an assault, and that person was fine.
Sorry if you said it and I missed it. Wait, so was his ankle broken, or what was the injury?
Yes, his broken ankle. He ran over his foot as he was trying to get the young lady out of the car. Could have been a lot worse.
I just have one more question on the three 14-year-olds that were arrested. I know one, or do they remain detained currently? And then, I know their cases are currently in juvenile court. Do you plan to request to have them transferred to adult court?
Well, they were, based on their age, I don't believe that we can, based on those charges, in terms of waive them up. And I will say, without letting you know what happened, I think 2 of them were held, 1 of them was released, if I'm not mistaken. But also, I do want to say something else, is that, we're talking about the juveniles. We're talking about so many issues, and our office has an event called the Solutions Pack, March 18th from 6 to 8 p.m. at Digital Harbor High School, 1100 Covington Street. And that's where we're going to talk about within the community, juvenile engagement and public safety. And we'll hear from the Department of Juvenile Services, the youth outreach programs, and also we need to talk about smoke shops and illegal sales. And that's where you hear from the Maryland Alcohol, Tobacco, and Cannabis Commission, because young people are also, frequently these smoke shops. And so oftentimes we need to make sure we protect our children from themselves. And that's one of the reasons to me, and I know the police commissioner, this case is just absolutely so outrageous. Because as a parent, and both of us are parents, our job is to make sure we prepare and guide our children for their future. And to now have these charges and these allegations where it's alleged the mother just totally relinquished that job is absolutely, it's sad and it's heartbreaking. And, at the end of the day, there was an officer who risked his life for all of us in the public, and he was truly the victim of this incident, as was the other gentleman, from what we could tell. But we want to make sure that victims' voices are heard loud and clear.